All right, here in the finals, we won the die roll. We'll play first, and we'll keep. We got pretty good hand here. If we rip a land or two, it's looking really good. We get to go Herald of Dramoka into Captain into Heel Cutter, which is pretty nice. Another white deck, all right. Oh, red-white as well. Nice thing about this is the vigilance is huge here, since it lets us attack and block. Missing on land here is kind of a bummer, but can do nothing about it. All right, we'll make the trade. No choice, really. Got to admit, Master of the Unseen looks pretty bad when your mana screwed. All right, I guess we'll just take this out. Not bad when your opponent's tapped out and you're stuck on mana. Forerunners. All right. All right. Pretty important turn to rip a land. All right. I think I just concede. I kind of don't even want to show him anything, and if I rip a land, I think I just concede. We're taking at the minimum 9, more likely 10. Yeah, I think we're dead. Okay. I won't show him any more cards. All right. Well, it's kind of a bummer, but stuff happens. Let's see here. Do I want to bring in Cinder Soul? Probably didn't. I didn't really get enough information to do anything different, in my opinion. So I think we'll keep the same and hope we draw a little bit better. All right. Play first again, and yeah, we'll keep this. All right. So got a couple options here. I can do Dramoka Warrior, or I can do Dramoka Captain. If I do Dramoka Captain, he gets to attack with Herald. I think he attacks with Herald regardless, though. I'm trying to think of the pros and cons of both here. I think I'm going to play the captain. My reasoning being, I could offer the trade with the Jamocha Warrior, but I don't mind next turn leaving up Master of the Unseen, Manifest Mana, and just sort of spitting some guys out for a little while. All right, well now that changes things. So now I got to play the Jamocha Warrior, and wish I had. Oof. If I get a land, though, I'm in okay shape. Can't really afford to take 6. I think I'm just going to chump. So if I draw a land, I'm fine. If I don't draw a land, I guess I get to go in chump block mode a little bit. All right. Well, we're going to get double striker off the board right now. And pass. So next turn is the Sunscorch Regent turn. Unfortunately, that's kind of rough, but I guess we have Master of the Unseen. Wouldn't mind if he used removal on Jamocha Warrior, because then I can more confidently play Sunscorch Regent. But regardless, I think we're playing Regent next turn. I think I'll make the trade. It's not a great trade, but we're a little bit behind. So we'll play a Sunscorch Regent. Basically has to have a Bathe in Dragonfire to kill it. Because Draconic Roar doesn't do it. He's highly, highly incentivized to attack with Dragon Bell Monk, regardless of whether he's got the answer or not, because I am certainly not incentivized to block. So, as expected, he does attack into it. We're going to take it. Stormrider Rig. Well, certainly not concerned about that. Sunscorch Regent's only getting bigger. So now it's officially out of Bathe in Dragonfire range. It's still in Sandblast range, however. Alright, so I can actually drop a Fierce Invocation as a block for that Dragon Bell Monk. Otherwise I'm spitting out a Master of the Unseen thing, but I think we're just going to play the Fierce Invocation and pass. Offer up a trade to the Dragon Bell Monk at this point. And it still forces him to at least play a spell. So out of Bathe in Dragonfire range, like I said, not out of Sandblast range, however. If I draw a land, I get to go Monk plus Master of the Unseen, which is nice too. Certainly blocking. Combat tricks just make my Sunscorch Regent bigger. Alright, so guy is, now our Regent's out of Sandblast range as well, which is nice. Elite Scale Guard is pretty nice too, seeing as it blocks his guy pretty well. All right. So got there, game 2. The opponent's deck is very good. Very, very good. Um, seems to have combat tricks. He also has the battle mastery, which is interesting. On the draw, I mean, Kindled Fury is pretty nasty against, or Loose Calm rather is pretty nasty against like a battle mastery. That is pretty nasty actually. But we've got all this removal, so I'm a little less concerned about that. On the draw, considering how aggressive he is, there are some cards I like less. Didn't really see anything of Radiant Purge value. Kindled Fury could be good as a 1-mana trick. But I can't really cut any of my creatures. Could see cutting a Sarkhan's Rage, but it's pretty valuable there. On the draw, I could see Berserker's Onslaught being worse. Not sure if we saw a bunch of removal from him. I feel like we just saw combat tricks. I don't think I want to bring in Center Soul. I kind of want to leave in Sarkhan's Rage and Berserker's Onslaught, but I wouldn't mind having the Kindled Fury, like I said, just because 1-mana tricks against a low removal deck seem really good. Maybe I do bring in Kindled Fury, but I either cut a Sarkhan's Rage or a Berserker's Onslaught for it. I think I'm actually cutting the Onslaught in this match. I like this card a lot, but it just seems just slow enough where I don't want it in this match. I'd rather... I feel like at the point I can play Sarkhan's Rage, I'm either going to need to kill a creature or I can kill my opponent, both of which are options that seem better than the situational Berserker's Onslaught that at least requires me to have somewhat of a board presence to even get value. I really do like Berserker's Onslaught, but our opponent is aggressive enough where I think I'd rather just stick to tricks and removal rather than strong attack in and win cards, especially on the draw. Very good hand. I mean, there's no creatures, but keeping him off creatures is also pretty satisfactory. Ooh, really hoping to get some Twin Bolt value here. We'll see if that happens. Hoping he just slams a 3-1. Wandering Champ. He plays Wandering Champ, and I will be gaining a lot of confidence. All right, Dragon Fodder I'll settle for. We're still going to bust the old... we're going to play around potential combat tricks, so I think we're just going to kill a couple of these things now. We get pretty good value out of this. Certainly makes his War Flare weaker. All right, currently don't have a really good play next turn. Seems like we're just going to heal cut. All right, we're going to Dromoka Warrior instead. It puts us on the board, kind of motivates him to leave back the Goblin token, and it motivates him to just hard cast his Warbringer instead, which we're just going to promptly, I guess, bathe in Dragonfire. I could roast it instead. You could have a big flyer, so maybe I just roast the I can't think of a 5 toughness thing I'd be worried about. I was kind of hoping he attacked there, but it's okay. Actually, I guess we just Tail Slash. This seems like a pretty excellent opportunity to do it, him being tapped out and all. It's interesting. It's actually the first time I've seen this card played. All right, we'll dash. See if he's got removal. I think if he'd had removal, he would have played it there. Guess he could have Center Soul. But is that even good? Why didn't he? That's just weird. All right. Well, I guess I'm glad he did that there rather than at the beginning of my combat. All right, we'll just play a Herald and pass. Really not motivated to use a removal spell on a Goblin token. It does get me 3 damage in. I guess my opponent's only got 1 card, but just not super strongly incentivized. Oh, all right. I used the Roast instead of the Bathe in Dragonfire in case he's got a flyer. I feel like the difference between 4 and 5 is potentially significant, but I'm not overly concerned. No cards left in hand. I think I actually make the trade here. My thinking is I might need this Bathe in Dragonfire for something I can't deal with. And I'm putting a big threat on the board too, which is good. Well, I didn't want to draw a land, so I don't mind manifesting a Plains. No plays from my opponent. Jamocha Captain is an excellent draw. So it looks like my opponent got flooded, which does happen in Magic from time to time. All right, drew very... Oh, he just had combat tricks. All right. Well, our deck had enough removal where we beat the deck that had good tricks. All of our matches were challenging, to be sure. None of our matches were a walk in the park. So, pretty satisfied with how the deck performed. I still don't know about my opinion on Jamocha Captain. I mean, it actually played reasonably well for us. Played well with Gleam of Authority on a couple of occasions. Master of the Unseen I already knew was a good card, so I was happy with how that performed for the most part. Our removal was excellent and played very well. Not much else to say. We got to win a game with Sunscorch Regent. Never got to win a game due to Berserker's Onslaught, but that's okay. Yeah, so overall, fun deck, performed better than I thought it would. So very satisfied in that regard. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The next draft will be an 8-4. We'll see you then.